I love her, devotion, dedication. Also, you know, she's got, maybe she's too humble to say, too modest to say, but she's got a great fighting spirit, no doubt. She's a warrior, goes out there and, you know, doesn't give a single game. Actually, she has probably the most bagels of anyone in women's tennis. It speaks about how seriously and professionally she's taking every single point and game on the court. So that's very admirable. I really like that kind of champion spirit and mindset.
The 24-time Grand Slam champion has publicly declared Coco Gauff the most complete player in women's tennis right now. Yes, the most complete. And just like that, Melbourne Park is buzzing. Djokovic didn't mince words. He praised Gauff's relentless fighting spirit, her willingness to chase down every single ball, and her ability to push any opponent to their absolute limit. He went even further, openly suggesting that Coco Gauff is a serious favorite to win the Australian Open. And let's be clear, when Novak Djokovic speaks, the tennis world doesn't just listen, it pays attention. This wasn't a casual compliment tossed out in passing. This was a full-throated endorsement from one of the greatest competitors the sport has ever known. A player who has conquered Melbourne a record 10 times doesn't hand out praise like this lightly. Novak genuinely believes Coco Gauff has all the tools needed to dominate this tournament. For Gauff, that endorsement is massive. Imagine being a young player in the middle of a Grand Slam run and hearing one of the greatest athletes in history publicly back you as the favorite. That kind of confidence boost can be transformative. And the timing couldn't be better, right when the pressure is rising, right when every match feels heavier. Djokovic's words could be the fuel that carries her all the way to the trophy. And honestly, Novak might be absolutely right. Coco Gauff has been an outright force at this year's Australian Open. Her level has been frighteningly high, and her recent match against Karolina Muchova perfectly illustrated why Djokovic's praise is so deserved. Let's break it down. Gauff came out in the first set like a woman on a mission, blistering ground strokes, flawless movement, and relentless pressure. She completely overwhelmed Muchova, taking the opening set 6-1 in dominant fashion. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. But champions aren't defined by easy sets. In the second, Muchova, one of the craftiest players on tour, adjusted brilliantly. She mixed up her shots, disrupted Gauff's rhythm, and flipped the momentum. The result? A 6-3 second set for Muchova, and suddenly, the match was wide open. And this is where greatness shows itself. In the deciding third set, Coco Gauff did exactly what Novak Djokovic was talking about. She reset, she refocused, she elevated. With calm confidence and ruthless execution, she took control and closed out the match 6-3, stamping her authority and sending a clear message to the rest of the draw. I'm here to win this tournament. No panic, no unnecessary drama, just elite, composed, championship-level tennis. That is champion mentality. And this is precisely why Djokovic's words carry so much weight. Novak understands relentless defense and mental toughness better than almost anyone in history. His legendary ability to retrieve the impossible and break opponents mentally is the foundation of his career. So when he calls Coco Gauff a warrior, it means something. He described her as a player who steps onto the court determined to give nothing away, someone who suffocates opponents, pushes them to their limits, and refuses to back down. That's not theory. That's recognition from someone who has lived that mindset for 2 decades at the very top of the sport. And now, Coco Gauff is walking that same path. With Djokovic's endorsement ringing across Melbourne, the question is no longer whether Coco Gauff belongs at the top, it's whether anyone can stop her. What do you think? Is Novak Djokovic right? Is Coco Gauff the most complete player on tour right now? Does his endorsement make her the favorite for the Australian Open? And can anyone derail this run she's on? Drop your thoughts in the comments, backhand index pointing down, because if Novak's instincts are right, we might be watching the rise of the next dominant force in women's tennis.
I love her, devotion, dedication. Also, she's got maybe she's too humble to say, too modest to say, but she's got a great fighting spirit, no doubt. You know, she's a warrior, goes out there and, you know, doesn't give a single game. Actually, she has probably the most bagels of anyone in women's.
What makes Novak Djokovic's comments so powerful isn't just the praise, it's what he chose to praise. Novak went out of his way to emphasize that Coco Gauff's focus is always on the game itself, not on disrupting, provoking, or undermining her opponents. And that distinction matters a lot. Coco doesn't play mind games. She doesn't rely on intimidation. She doesn't look for shortcuts through gamesmanship. She shows up, locks in, and outworks everyone on the court. That's the kind of purity in competition that Novak Djokovic respects more than anything. This is a player who built his legacy on discipline, resilience, and relentless focus, not theatrics. And when he recognizes those same traits in Coco Gauff, it tells you exactly why his endorsement feels so authentic. What Novak is really saying, without spelling it out, is this: she has the same DNA that made me a champion. And coming from a man who has survived every era, every rival, and every pressure moment tennis can throw at you, that comparison carries enormous weight. He's not hyping her up. He's warning the field. But here's the thing, Djokovic isn't alone. Ons Jabeur has also weighed in, and her perspective adds a whole new dimension to this conversation. Jabeur didn't just say Coco is good. She said Coco has evolved, and she backed it up with a brilliant analogy that has everyone in the tennis world nodding in agreement. According to Jabeur, Coco used to rely primarily on raw athleticism and defensive brilliance, using speed and court coverage to stay in rallies. But now, she's adding layers. She's constructing points. She's choosing the right moments to attack. She's playing smarter, not just harder. Jabeur compared Coco's growth to a player who has learned not just how to survive storms, but how to control the weather. That's a dangerous evolution. Because when a player with elite athleticism, unshakable focus, and champion-level mentality adds tactical intelligence to the mix, they don't just compete, they dominate. This is why the buzz around Coco Gauff feels different right now. It's not hype. It's not marketing. It's respect from legends, from peers, and from players who understand exactly what it takes to win at the highest level. And if both Novak Djokovic and Ons Jabeur are seeing the same thing, then the rest of the tour should be paying very close attention. Because Coco Gauff isn't just the future anymore. She's the present.
She's an octopus, you know, she gets every ball, she's always there, she doesn't give up. Big serve, you know, sometimes it's a bit annoying when someone is serving well. She can go anywhere to get any ball. I mean, she already won I think two Grand Slams now, and a lot of, you know, 1000s, and she's been playing good. She's been at the great level with this.
Oh, that octopus line? Absolute chef's kiss octopus fire. Ons Jabeur nailed it. And honestly, it might be the most accurate description of Coco Gauff anyone's ever given. Calling Coco an octopus isn't just funny or viral bait. It's deeply technical truth disguised as a metaphor. Jabeur explained it perfectly. Coco doesn't let anything get away easily. It feels like she has 8 arms on the court, stretching into every corner, sliding into impossible positions, and somehow putting one more ball back in play when the point should already be over. And that's the nightmare. Because against Coco, one great shot is never enough. 2 often aren't either. Sometimes you need 4 or 5 near-perfect shots just to maybe finish the point. That does something brutal to an opponent's mind. You start pressing. You go for tighter lines. You overhit. And suddenly, the unforced errors pile up. Not because you're playing badly, but because Coco forces you to play beyond your comfort zone. Ons Jabeur has played everyone. She's faced the power hitters, the counterpunchers, the tacticians. For her to single out Coco's defense tells you this isn't hype, it's lived experience. She knows exactly how exhausting it is to play someone who simply refuses to go away. That octopus comparison went viral because players and fans alike instantly said, "Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like." And Djokovic? He's seeing the same thing from a champion's lens. The fight for every ball. The refusal to concede a point mentally. even when it looks lost physically. We saw that mentality on full display against Baptiste. Coco was in trouble. Momentum wasn't on her side. The kind of moment where expectations can suffocate a young player. And instead of panicking, she leveled up. Second set, 6-1. Third set, 6-0. That's not survival. That's domination. That's a player who solves problems in real time, who adapts, who believes deeply that no match is out of reach. And you're absolutely right. This is the kind of mental resilience that wins Grand Slams. At this level, everyone can hit winners. What separates champions is composure under fire, tactical intelligence, and an unbreakable will. Coco has all three right now. And this is where Sabalenka enters the picture. If the semifinals give us Coco Gauff versus Aryna Sabalenka, things get very uncomfortable for the two-time defending champion. Sabalenka's power is terrifying, but power alone doesn't always beat an octopus. Especially not one that's faster, calmer, mentally sharper, and riding a wave of confidence fueled by wins, momentum, and validation from legends like Novak Djokovic. This version of Coco Gauff isn't just defending, she's absorbing pressure and turning it back on you. If Sabalenka underestimates her, even slightly, she won't just lose points. She'll lose control of the match. Because the Coco Gauff we're seeing in Melbourne right now, she's evolved. She's fearless. And she's very, very hard to escape. And respected peers like Ons Jabeur. Aryna Sabalenka's game has always relied on overwhelming her opponents with raw power. She hits big. She hits early. She tries to end points fast. But Coco, the octopus, has proven she can handle that kind of assault better than almost anyone on tour. She absorbs pace. She redirects power. She stretches rallies until opponents crack. And most importantly, she never gives up on a point. Every extra shot Coco makes you play is another question you have to answer. And sooner or later, the answers run out. If Sabalenka was feeling comfortable about defending her Australian Open title, Novak Djokovic's comments and Ons Jabeur's octopus analogy should have sent a chill straight down her spine. Because suddenly the narrative has shifted. Now, the pressure isn't on Coco anymore. Now, everyone is talking about her as the favorite. So there you have it, tennis fans. Novak Djokovic has declared Coco Gauff the most complete player on the women's tour. Ons Jabeur has described her as an octopus with unmatched defensive reach. And Coco herself is backing up all of that praise with dominant, ruthless performances on the court. With her fighting spirit, her comeback mentality, and her evolution into a truly complete player, it's becoming harder and harder to bet against her. As we move closer to what could be an epic semi-final showdown between Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka, the defending champion has every reason to be worried. Now I want to hear from you. Backhand index pointing right, is Coco Gauff going to win the Australian Open? Backhand index pointing right, if she meets Sabalenka in the semi-finals, does she take her down? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our Australian Open coverage. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.